Week's been good.
The week's been good? Awesome. All right, now Dr. Elena is back. Let's get into things.
Good job, good job. You're a great second in command or first in command. So, all right. So we have Dr. Habib also joining us from Ireland or UK. Lots of representation. We got Switzerland, we got Australia, we got the East Coast, West Coast, London. And Kadim, where are you joining from?
So I'll put myself on mute. I'm from Reading. I'm very close to Shehzad.
Ah, nice, nice. Great. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, welcome. So I'm glad you're here. And for some of you, it's your first time. So I will summarize it a little bit, although I'm sure you did receive information about it. So as you know, Masterminds is a great mental process to stimulate you, empower you for new projects, inspire you, give you new ideas, new multi-million-dollar ideas. And it's been invented by who? Help me out, my veterans here. It's been invented by who? This process? By?
Napoleon Hill.
Oh, Napoleon Hill.
There you go. Good job. Good job. Yes. Who, the late Napoleon Hill is famous for Think and Grow Rich. I think actually that book was published after he passed. So he probably never got the credit during his lifetime, but it was great what he passed on. And that's the type of legacy I wish for myself and all of you, to really pass on something incredible to the future generations, to continue making this place a better place. So because it's the end of the year, we have been having these masterminds every year, first Wednesday of the month. And sometimes are on a specific topic that you requested. Sometimes it's general open topic. But today, because it's the end of the year, I want to do a special process to help you out, and welcome Safia. So we're going to look at the 2020 in review. It was a challenging year in many ways, but it was also a blessing, blissful, and a blessing in many ways. So what we do in a mastermind, there is one person at a time, sort of in the middle of a virtual circle, okay? So the person in the middle, we call that person in the hot seat. So the hot seater. I'll mute you for now. So, but you'll be able to unmute yourself when you have, when you share, okay? For recording purposes, so it's nice and crisp. So the person in the hot seat poses a question, and the people on the outside of the circle do give feedback and mastermind with that person, new ideas, new strategies, new plans. So I want each and every one of you to be in the hot seat today, good or good. And this is what you are going to focus on, because again, it's the end of the year. So I'll put it here in the chat box. I want you to share succinctly one thing you are proud of having accomplished in 2020, okay? Then I want you to share right after one thing. I know there's more, but we'll start with one at a time. One thing that you want to focus on next in 2021. Okay, it can be personal, professional. All of these recordings are confidential. They're here for educational purposes. And so just you are among trusted, like-minded, and like-hearted members. So just be yourself, don't censor, don't filter, okay? Okay, and then your masterminders around you in this virtual circle are going to mastermind new approaches that maybe you haven't thought of to your 2021 project, okay? The first one that you'll tackle. Because it could be contacts that you want to share. It could be ideas, new plans, new approaches, new strategies. But a lot of us have a lot of contacts and we love to connect one another. And the beauty is that we are all from different parts of the world. So we're able to share literally new perspectives that we are not able to see because we still cannot teleport ourselves, right? In all 5 continents at the same time. Maybe in 20 years we will, but not yet. So do you like this process? Are you game? Yeah, can I have your permission? Okay, great. So we're all gonna go and is there one person who would like to go first? Safia, where are you joining us from?
Hi everyone, I'm joining from the UK in Reading.
Wonderful, great. Okay,
well,
so
I'll go first then if I'm unmuted.
nice.
Anyway.
I love it. Yeah, we're all ears. Okay, so you got it, right? One thing 2020,
yeah.
One thing 2021, and then we will help you with new ideas, approaches, and contacts. Go for it.
Yeah, so one thing I'm really proud of having achieved this week, I got my coaching practice up and running, and I launched a course and sold it as well. So yeah, that's what I'm proud of for achieving this year. And for what I want to focus on for 2021 is making more partnerships, and connecting with more other people in my field. So I'm in parenting coaching. Want to connect with more partners.
Okay. So that we're all clear, define partners. What do you mean by that? What do you want to attract?
Other people who are willing to share my message with their contacts, or were interested to work together. So maybe to work together to do web classes together and do that sort of cooperations. Sure.
So you're saying more JVs, joint ventures,
yes.
affiliations.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a specific methodology of parenting coaching or a website that we can quickly look at so we can help you with? For yours?
My website is coachsafia.com. So my methodology is InsideOut coaching. So I'm trained in something called the InsideOut paradigm, and my parenting coaching is based on that.
Okay, great. Okay, so I think it's clear, and let's all give her a little something. So we're just going around robin. Jody.
Back to me, please. I gotta make a couple things.
Okay, Gillian.
I'm trying to hear.
Hi. Let's see, what am I got so many. Let me pick one that I'm grateful.
I know. So Gillian, Safia is still in the hot seat. Let's help her with the parenting coaching, JVs and affiliation. CoachSafia.com, InsideOut paradigm. Anything that comes to your mind to help her with.
Maybe put this on social media. Advertise on social media.
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, because I can see on your website there are no links to social. There's only Facebook. Okay, but it's hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would add. She's got it. All the other ones. Okay. Anybody else? Go for it, Veron. Unmute everybody. Yes.
When you say parenting, I don't know what age of children you're focusing on. Is a age group of children's that you're focusing on. You can try also connect with school, because school also have a lot of a parent committee, and and have a speech there first, and then go from there.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, I don't have an age limit because I'm supporting the parents to support them, to support their children. So, but yeah, definitely, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Yes.
I haven't done that yet, so yeah, no, definitely. Thank you.
And I can tell you, you got a great JV right here, Dr. Divgi.
Hi, Safia. I was just good to hear about that somebody interesting in the parenting. And I take up on Veron's ideas. You may want to consider the target of parents of preschool children or under 5 and school-age children or teenage children. If you kind of target those parents, all how you do inside-out parenting would be a different focus and different strengths, because there are different challenges of each age group.
Yeah.
Even the newborns, like premature babies and early newborns, are people with, deformed babies or disabled babies. You have a lot of groups to focus on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely think about all that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you may want to think about who is your target first, who you want to focus on, and the others will fall in place.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. And I know Matt is a great parent and he has something to share.
Yeah, I have 3 thoughts. I just put them in the chat. One is we did some work with John Payne. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He does something called Simplicity Parenting. He's incredible, and his website's pretty good too. So if you check it out, you might find that you like what he's saying, and that he's running in circles of people that you want to connect with, both as practitioners and as target audience. So I put that in the chat. John Payne is his name, Simplicity Parenting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I took a course once called STEP, Systematic Training for Effective Parenting. That was excellent. I really enjoyed that. So that's another great modality. And then the third thing is I've become a big fan lately of Reddit. I got introduced to that. My college-age son pretty much uses Reddit as his encyclopedia for everything that takes place in the world. And I've been pretty impressed that there's circles of people talking about things on Reddit. And so I feel like it's just about putting yourself into the circles in which people are either professional parenting coaches, target audiences of parenting, or people who are just discussing parenting.
Yeah. Great. Wow, that was amazing resources. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And here's a resource is actually a client of mine and colleague as well. And he does same thing you do here on the East Coast of the United States. And he's always open to JV's affiliation. So look him up. You can mention my name. Okay.
All right. Okay. Great.
Good job. Thank you, Safia. Good job.
Thank
You're great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay, Gillian, would you like to go next?
Hi. One big accomplishment I did this year was, besides surviving COVID, but managing my skills for working from home. I think that was a big accomplishment.
Yes, and I'm impressed. I didn't think you'd pull it off because it's so hard to pull it off. And I know many other people in your shoes that have not been able. So I'm so impressed. So Gillian is a very good real estate realtor in the Big Apple, New York. And that was hit massively, as you guys know, and she was able to turn it all around virtually and do such a great job. Bravo. Okay, for 2021.
For 2021, I would like, well, of course, more of the same, but I just started an investment portfolio, so that I'm going to be working on in 2021 to grow that.
Okay. And the investment portfolio meaning?
With stocks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is that personally, or do you want to offer anything for your clients?
No, that's personal. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I was able to get it going.
All right, very good, very good. So you doing your own trading?
I'm using a third party to help me.
Okay, okay,
get ideas.
Fantastic. How can we support you and Mastermind? Mastermind ideas and thoughts around that.
Any ideas or something new? I know there's a lot of new tech stocks out there, or something to get on the ground floor to be the next Amazon. You know, I'm reading up a lot. You know, we're going into a different age now with electric cars and stuff like that. So I'm thinking of maybe something ground floor, maybe within the batteries or something like that. I don't know.
To help you with getting stocks of that company, if it's public.
Well, looking for a ground floor investment, if anybody has any ideas.
Okay. Is everybody clear on that?
No.
Okay. So the one thing I want you to caution you, Gillian, is, you know, stay focused on one thing at a time. As much as possible, since trading is new for you for 2021, I would stay focused on that instead of like starting an Amazon business, a sustainable, whatever venture. So one thing at a time, but maybe with the stocks, there are some new companies that are green or match your values, your passions, that maybe a pre-IPO or that you can also use for your own trading. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that would make sense. So at least it's all in one, and you stay focused on that versus being everywhere.
All over the place.
Yeah. That would make more sense to me. But let's see what Gillian, Dr. Divgi.
Gillian, one of the things I learned is finding out what we use the most, where we spend the most money, what we are interested in, what is our work, or what our interests are, and doing homework on those companies. You don't have to buy everything on the stock market, but if you have something like 5 to 10, what they call wonderful companies, how to evaluate them and how to learn about them, and then decide to buy them when they are having what they call an event.
Oh, okay.
So the stock prices is low, and that's when you jump in. Right now, everybody is flying high, so may not be the right time to get in. So just stock away and do the homework where you want to get into, rather than putting the money in the market.
Okay.
That would be my 2 cents.
Matt.
I can just jump in. There's a lot of advice I could give you, but most of it would be terrible, so I'm not going to give it. And I'll just say that when I was an intern in college, I worked with a stockbroker as an internship, and there was something called Value Line. They used to have these tear sheets. And I think it's a great way to educate yourself on the fundamentals of the way stocks actually work, the price earnings multiples, what actually creates value, multiples of cash flow. I think timing the market on individual stocks will be very difficult for anybody, especially a new investor. But I think that boning up on the fundamentals of why stocks move the way they do and what drives them, you know, it could give you a comfort level of where you're putting your money based on what you're learning and what your beliefs are.
Thank you.
Great. And who's helping you, Gillian, with that? If you want to share.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm going through a platform, Motley Fools.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Anybody else has some ideas for Gillian? If not, we'll move on.
Yes. Yes, there are books too. You know, I think there is one book written by a very long-standing trader. I think it's called Equity's Edge. And he is sort of explaining every inside out. You know, as much say that it's good to have some fundamental in learning about value investing. And there are some website you can take a look, actually, you know, just to get familiar with it. I think that there is the financial one. They have it in Morningstar. I think they will give a bit of information on the company, a bit of analysis there. So maybe that will give some information on the kind of company that you might like to invest in.
Right. Thank you so much. And Yolanda.
You know Marcus de Maria, Elena?
Yes.
I keep on getting emails from him about webinars, and so about this tradings and investment. I don't know if this would be an idea.
Yeah, perfect. And maybe Gillian, you can give your email. Gillian, you can give your email privately or to everybody, to Yolanda, and she'll forward it, okay?
You can give me your email, and then I'll forward you an email that I got from him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very famous in Europe.
Yeah.
And he's the Courtney Smith of Europe type of thing. Yeah, so good job. The Motley Fool or Oxford Club of Europe. Very nice. And Michael.
Cool. Yeah. I've studied a few times investment, but I haven't actually invested much myself. But I do know that most people that I know that are successful spent a fair bit of time in the simulation zone just to work out how it would play out if you were putting your real money there, whether it be 6 months or 12 months. And I firmly believe in Warren Buffett's model for investment, but also researching the companies. I'm trained in management, and I believe that if you pick a company that is being well run, that they're more likely to achieve their goals and achieve the growth and return that will pass on to the investors. So the quality of the management of the companies you choose is essential. So you need to read quality literature on, did they make good choices this year? And if the variance is way off, even if it's a plus, if the variance is way off what they say they're going to do, then you're not getting a fair report on where they're going as a company, and it's too risky. So you have a good steady base, and then you have a high risk base. You can play with that, but it's like loaning money to a friend. If it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
But you've got to have your steady and your high risk, and you can have a lot of fun with that, but don't put too much money into that. That's a few thoughts from me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So what we're doing, to remind you, it's based on a principle called giver's gain. You know, the more we give and we share resources and contacts, etc., the more it comes back to us tenfold and much, much more. And those of you who have been with us for a while and participated into previous masterminds are testimony of that. Yes? Okay. So this is especially for the new members, Shehzad, Kadim, and Safia. Okay, so wonderful. Thank you so much. And Michael, would you like to go next?
Oh, why not? Except for I was hoping, if we'd all be open to it, to do a little bit more with Safia's situation. Because
let's leave it for last, okay, if we have more time, because I have to keep it more or less within an hour and I want everybody to go, okay? But then at the end, we can do some more with some people who want to go do it again.
All right, well, check this. It's partly because of huge relevance. I'm looking to open up online information for related to the services I provide. So help DIYs. Now I'm in gardening and landscaping, and I do a lot of hard jobs. It gets a bit hot and heavy, and I find it hard to get second, third, fourth people to the jobs. And so now I'm doing just the minimum amount of jobs that I need to save a little bit of money. And this year I've stabilized everything despite COVID. I've got new depot for storage of most of my, I've got like 7 cubics of tan bark, 13 cubics of aged wood chip mulch that's been mixed. Got all these cubics down in the spare site. So the depot's good, tools are good, works hard. I'm making just enough profit to launch the new thing, which is like the retirement thing. Like I've got sore muscles. I want to do less, employ people. So I'm going to go online. And I guess it's similar to parenting coaching or dream winning coaching, or as we are here, masterminding. I want to reach the niche people that are going to benefit the most from my thing in a format that works. So it's really about delivery. I was hoping to expand, or thinking we could expand more in Safia's situation, because once you've got that content and you've got that audience, and now, especially with COVID, it's about methods of doing it. So maybe I could get some opinions from the group on my situation, whether I'm better off doing a huge amount of stuff like free through a Facebook access situation and relying on perhaps donations and payments, or setting up a membership site that requires a contribution monthly by people to join into a gardening membership site. And if I offer the events, like training events, then people can then from that join either the free regular club or the membership site. And I promote the event perhaps through Facebook. An event would be like a Zoom type DIY gardening, what you can do to fix up your own garden before you have to pay someone. So the basics of a lot of the groundwork that I have to charge a lot for, and people don't like it, and I still get sore muscles.
So Michael, I'm going to help you here. So
right.
you know, on these masterminds, you have to be succinct, or for people is hard to understand. Yes. Okay, and help you. Okay. So one thing in 2021, summarize it and succinctly that you want idea. You need to be able to summarize it for people to understand.
Cool. Well, hopefully I put some context. The question is, can anyone give me any enthusiastic input that based on any experience they've got, if possible, on how they would like to receive or access gardening information for DIY at home, and how much they might pay for it, whether it be best in a membership format or just the occasional optional event that you pay to watch or join in on.
Okay, so DIY, do it together.
Do it yourself, yeah.
Yeah. Do it yourself. Okay. Oh, sorry. Do it yourself. Okay. So is everybody clear now?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So great. Yeah, Matt, go for it.
Well, Michael, you know, I'm always a big fan of your work. I'm always interested in what you're up to. Definitely, you got great ideas. I don't have a specific idea because I'm not necessarily a gardener myself, but what keeps coming to mind as you're talking is the idea of your funnel, and that you're trying to define your funnel, which is that you're widening out the most number of people possible to come into your funnel. And you're going to be giving free offerings throughout the funnel. And at some point, you're going to convert people based on their interest into a paying customer. So I really think it's about trying to define where the breakpoints are. You have a lot of information, but your time is worth something, and your consultation is worth something. And certainly you're doing the direct work is worth a lot. So I feel like you need to have 2 or 3 tracks that people can enter, you know, sort of the everyday lazy Saturday gardener, the green thumb, and sort of the enthusiast, and figure out where do they enter your funnel, and how do you create stickiness and increase retention of interest until such points you can convert them to a paying work stream, and actively define what those work streams are that you're going to convert people into based on what category they're in.
You put that extremely well. You've given me a great whole insight into the journey of the customer of increasing enthusiasm. And I see that happening with customers after a couple of successful visits. They're like, this is starting to look good. And then they want to buy a plant, and then they want to do more themselves, because I love that. I love the three angle types, and you're right about the challenge point between the free and the conversion. I'm happy to give a lot and get some people. Yeah.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Else who has something to some ideas for Mike and his gardening DIY. Mike, make sure you follow up, okay? Because remember, the fortune is in the follow up.
Thank you.
Okay, of course, our Dr.
I see Dr. Ducci.
Yeah.
Michael, I was thinking about when you're talking that you very well can teach a lot of things and can check out like problem solving, what common problems your people are having, clients are having, and then do webinars or teaching things and all that. And if you kind of schedule a webinar on a monthly time, then the people whom you are dealing with it just announce it that you're going to tackle these things. And they can be subscribing them, or they can be your followers and come out. You may charge them, you may give them free to begin with, and then start charging them. Because you have so many things under your sleeve.
That wraps it together beautifully. I've been thinking about just a monthly, that anyone I meet anywhere, I can sort of say, oh, you might like to drop in on this, just give us a quick registration, but we can hold a lot of people. And how many people can Zoom hold? Does anybody know? Can you have like 80 people on Zoom, or is it like limited to 20?
Yeah, you can. Yes.
So a really big Zoom that people just let me know beforehand, and they can all join in, and monthly with some sort of like third Sunday, 11 o'clock time.
Yeah. Michael, let people give you feedback and then you process it later, or we'll run out of time and not everybody's going to be able to go. Dr. Habib.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Anything else?
Master Garden Club.
Yeah. I write down all these great ideas. Excellent. Anybody else got any suggestions that, and also feel free to bring it into your own, the relevant areas of the challenge.
Michael, what?
Yeah. I think we wanted to go first. Dr. Habib, unmute. Unmute. Unmute, darling. Dr. Habib.
Mute. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Good to see you. Looking great.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Michael. I would echo what everybody said. I have noticed, well, I'm not that expert in the area. However, I'm trying to start my green lifestyle. But I've noticed that when people offer free webinar, it engages a lot of other people into their webinars, and obviously they build up some trust and communication. And then, as the rest of the fellows have reiterated, then you can engage them into some Zoom meeting with prescription that you pay for taking it. Why don't you make it seasonal? Whatever the season you want to talk about, whatever plants or maybe a vegetable people want to do, whatever type of gardening can be done at the season, and just give them free webinar as a teaser, 1 or 2. People will wait for it. You know your customer, and then you start taking it further with them on a payment, on a paid scheduled basis.
Great.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Now, perhaps we'd go on to the next person. Anyone, quick one from Veronica?
Yes, I think you can transcribe this webinar. Yeah, and then have the video or we play with it, and then you can sell that separately when you group certain subjects together.
Fabulous. Just build up content. Even if I do 12 free ones, have it all packageable at the end. Yep.
Yeah.
Ordered. Yep. Awesome. Oh, you guys are great. I love it. Thank you so much, Matt, and everyone for those ideas. And
Veron had something to say.
I say it already.
Okay, sorry. Anybody else? Good job, you guys. Thank you for being so creative. It's going to come back to you a millionfold and much more.
Right.
Okay, and if you have more ideas later, you will be able to share it also in our private Facebook group, and I'll put the link here. So thank you so much. And let's go with Dr. Habib then. So Dr. Habib, you joined a little late. So look at the chat at the very beginning of the chat. So one thing you're proud of having accomplished in 2020, one thing that you want to focus on in 2021, and will help you with masterminding ideas around it. And go.
I actually joined from the beginning. I got the context. So
yes. Okay.
One thing I'm happy with, yeah. Well, maybe I wasn't as clear. One thing I'm happy with, I'm a medical professional, so I was quite embedded in COVID, and there was no escaping. There was no hiding behind the house, family and everything. I had to be out there.
Thank you for being a first responder. Thank you so much for all of us. For
You're
all
very
you do
welcome.
for the
You're
world
very
and the
welcome.
community.
It's my job. So I appreciate the thank you, but it's my job. So there's no escaping
You're so
for
humble.
me.
Okay.
But what I mean is the one thing I'm quite happy with, and I'm sorry I meant to contribute that much earlier, is that I managed to maintain my sanity and my positivity going through it, and just deliver the best I can to keep my team working well, support my patient, and deliver them as much love to the community I work with, so we can all work together into beating this little thing that's becoming a monster.
Yes, and for 2021.
2021, I may sound silly, but I'm in a very happy place that 2021 for me is, can I still maintain the balance that I have based on whatever difficult time we could be facing if we don't know how to survive the next chapter. So I give up trying to see what tomorrow will bring, because it's impossible in our job. And I'm just trying to maintain, supporting, delivering the job, and keeping me going for just to do what I have to do for everybody else, to keep doing their own.
All right, we won't accept that. So we want you to be specific. Okay, one thing can be personal, and can be personal. I don't want to give it away on your behalf, but something that you would like to attract in 2021, something new.
Well, if you said it personal, and I have to say, since COVID, it become very difficult to look at personal perspective in our job.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's right or wrong, but this is how it is. It's becoming much bigger than me. Personal is, I have a challenging relationship with my partner, which seemed to have settled and improved. And it just to see whether I can have a personal relationship when I'm working 15 hours a day. That's it. But I don't know if there is any solution to it, and I don't know if I can give up more about my lifestyle, because that will take the call, and it's selfish to do that.
Oh, good. Anything you would like our support with for 2021?
It would be very helpful to know how people manage to keep their personal life intact and persevere in this hard time. I'm not asking for them to provide something personal. What means and resort we have used so we can keep ourselves afloat in this difficult time. And you look amazing, Ilana.
Oh, listen,
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
I had to say that.
Love you too.
So you can cut that later.
Yeah, so for me, I've pushed myself to join more things online. I compiled. I was thinking, okay, what haven't I experienced yet? Now you can do it online. So I have a whole list of free dance classes you can take online. I can share it if you want, because that was fun and interesting to me, and you can still interact with the teacher, other people, other couples. So that was fun. That's one thing that helped me. Anybody else?
Yeah, I can go. Even if you are working 15 hours a day, Gina, I am a retired physician and also know what 15-hour days are. But key thing is to take our care, and mainly in the form of the sleep, exercise, and good food. Those three things, if you manage, the relationships and everything will fall into place. Because unless you are in good shape, you ain't working 15 hours. You can't go on an empty tank.
Yeah,
I
can't agree more.
Yeah, you have to be resilient, and you have to see what things make you feel better and feel good, whatever time you have, because all of us have the same 24 hours. So you need to know what your time stealers are and what things that make you feel the best. If not every day, at least 2 or 3 times a week, you should be taking care of those best things that make you feel good. Those would be my things.
Yes. And not that you're not in bad shape, Dr. Abib, you look great. Just maintain it. And if you want to share notes with Dr. Div Ghee, she's got some nice Ayurvedic, fun, spicy recipe, all
I will share my email with you.
And
Please.
fun. Yes.
That would be great, because I am actually into these things now. Just to kind of, looking what can I do more? What can I do more? So actually I am into that space now. So I'd love to get more of this.
Great, thank you. Anybody else has something to share for Dr. Abib? Some comments?
I do.
Sure, go for it, Jody.
For me, what's helped me is I have audiobooks on personal growth that I listen to that help me. And I also do my craft that keep me busy and keep my mind preoccupied. And luckily I don't work in the medical field. So I tried to do things to keep my mind preoccupied. Everything that's going on about the COVID, I don't let bother me. I keep moving forward and doing working, playing with my granddaughter and others. But yeah, that's what I do. I do my crafts and I do my my audiobooks.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you. That's something to take on as well, just to fill up my free time with something more positive.
Matt and then Yolanda.
Dr. Habib, thank you for your service as a frontline responder. From my time in healthcare, I know that critical incident stress debriefing is very important. Were there to be workplace violence or a suicide or something of a patient, typically psychology teams would circle up and round up afterwards and debrief it, and it's an evidence-based modality that works. My concern for healthcare is that everybody's so busy trudging through it on the front lines 15 hours a day that the trauma is building and that nobody's talking about it. And so my only hope for you, if you're comfortable, would be that at some point you can take the beautiful humanity that you're displaying here and talk about, the tenderness of what's going on in the sector as so many patients are dying, coming in such difficult shape. And it's very much beyond the framework that we've set up to deal with this many patients at one time in such grave conditions. So I think the time is coming for the healthcare sector to talk about it. And, if you were interested, I think that would be one way, ironically, to create balance, is to bring the humanity into the work and talk about what it's like to be in the sector. And again, it's only if you're comfortable. I would never recommend that if that's not how you roll, but I've seen it work in the psychology field, and I really think the healthcare sector has a reckoning coming.
I'm humbled by what you said, because it's exactly the point where I'm coming from to do my job. When I find that things have been pushed one way or another because of one bureaucracy in the system or another in this terrible, very challenging time, I stand solid, as in this is not the time to implement this. And yes, it is traumatic for us. And yes, it's very difficult. But again, we are all coming with the same spirit, and that we have to make it happen, because as you said, a lot of patients are suffering. We are suffering in the health profession, but we don't have options. We have to keep going and to keep everybody going with us.
Yeah, so in that respect, Dr. Abib, you and I can talk about it offline, but if you maybe in January want to co-host something, health strategies, and then you can share your experience. I would love for you to be my co-host. I think that would be an interesting subject for everybody.
It would be my pleasure, especially after being through it for more than a year. Then I'll be able to talk with some ethics about why I'm saying what I'm saying. So it will not be my thoughts. It will be more to do with groundwork. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr.
And I'll look more jazzy, not after day of work.
No, you look great. Don't worry. Yolanda.
just what came to my mind and what helped me is to be as much as possible just in the moment. Not worry about tomorrow, just be in the moment. So because that helped me a lot in the stressful times. It's challenging, but it is very helpful.
Yes, thank you, Yolanda. And Yolanda went through some near-death experiences, so she knows. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, let's move forward so everybody has a chance. Kadim.
Hi there, thank you. Yeah, that was really interesting. Just talking to, listen to you, Dr. Habib. I would just go back to and just share something. I'd say with your partner, just go for a walk on your day off. Spend some time together. That's what I would do with my wife. Go for a walk and catch up and talk about the family and things that are happening. So whatever you like to do, it might be a meal. But we like to go for walks in the countryside, and that really helps to gel the relationship together. Just the two of you. So what was good for me in 2020, I was working from home. It was like forced to work from home. Found it very difficult to adjust, but getting there now. I think getting a routine, exercising was a big thing. So I'm trying to exercise now more and more because I'm sat down. For next year, and it's something for 2021. Something I've always had in my mind is to increase the spirituality of my family, myself and my family, especially my kids and my wife. And I've struggled to do that. I've tried to sit down and read a book at 8 o'clock, and some of them are listening, some of them are watching TV. So yeah, that's what I've struggled with.
Okay, so, and that's what you want to tackle in 2021? And get some,
yes.
So so say one more time to summarize so everybody can put their together.
So yeah, I'm Muslim, I'm pray, and I'd like my children to practice and to and to get more on the spirituality side of things.
Sure.
My wife.
Okay, so you like to have more spiritual time. Is that what
for them to grow in their spirituality.
Okay, excellent. Is everybody clear on Kadim's request for support? Yes. Okay, and Safia.
Yeah, I just want to share my own experience in terms of that. When I started working on my own spirituality and grew in that myself, my children naturally followed. So that's been my experience. I don't know what age your children are, but mine are still young. But I have a daily routine with them where we sit down together and we read books, but there's no distractions around. Like that's the only thing they can do in that moment. So with younger kids, it's still easier, but it's doable with older ones as well. And it's like being very relaxed around it. So not having any expectation of a specific outcome, because their spirituality is not, I don't know if you can force it on them, but you can only almost like show it or show your love for that session and then let go of the outcome. Because when we hang on to a lot of outcome as parents, the kids feel it and then they reject that. so yeah, that's been my own experience. I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Yolanda and then Dr. Habib.
From my point of view, the best way your children get interested in spirituality is to be the role model. So this is the easiest way for me, so that they get interested, and it's like a longing for them to become like that in this field. But they will have their own spirituality, you have your own spirituality, and they will have their own. And maybe that's the challenge.
Thank you. Dr. Habib. Unmute.
You're on mute.
Sorry, I apologize again. I'll tell you how stupid doctors could be with technology. I understand where you're coming from, and I had the same thing. I am Christian, and I have faith, and I believe faith and religious belief could lead us through this terrible time. However, two things, but the other ladies had spoken about them. Show them you love them. Explain to them what you're trying to say, but don't force it on them. And I still have this struggle to the day with my son who's 23. And I find the only way I can not win him and get him to see the perspective is just explain it to him. I'm not expecting anything from him. I'm trying to light a candle in his pathway so he can see why I believe in so much I believe in, and be a role model is the key. And they will come through, they will pull through. Because wherever you plant a seed, it will flourish, but it may take longer time if the seasons are dry.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So what has helped me with spirituality and introspection and meditation is props. And I think that will help kids too. So a prop can be a pet, while you're petting a pet, or art, doing art, or a movement, yoga, whatever sports they like. So every time you do a yoga pose or a piece of art, drawing, or pet a pet, you dedicate that, or it could be a dinner, you're all circling together at the dinner table, you're dedicating that action, that pose, that movement, that piece of art to something. So that brings gratitude, and it's kind of fun and playful. I have to say, in this crazy, busy life, especially in America, I'm European, like people eat on the go. They don't even stop and sit and actually eat. And they all eat whenever they want, instead of gathering at least for one meal and going around and say, okay, let's talk about your day. One thing that went well, one thing that you want to accomplish tomorrow, But I think for kids, you sort of have to kind of make it like a little bit of a game and use props. So that's my take. So unless there is somebody else, we move forward. Okay, Michael.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, Karim, I've got a few ideas on this. I think it's fabulous because it works two ways. I think parents often don't realize it, that not only do they share spirituality with their children, but the children share spirituality with them as well. It's there once you give it the room to breathe. I was going to say, the more inner peace that a parent has, the easier it is for the child to know that the way the parent approaches life is the right one. If your parents are stressed or angry or tired all the time, not happy with their job, any of that stuff, it's very easy for a child to not want to engage in that parent's way of processing life and being spiritual about it, because they might just see that that's not really delivering for them. So very strongly the role model thing. And I think the basics of sort of gratitude and appreciation and valuing things is essential, especially nature. And I think one of the greatest ways to show the bigger picture to a child, if you've got the opportunity, is to get out into a forest or a natural park and let the children explain to you the things that they find the most amazing that they can see around them. It might just be a bunch of grass, or it might be the trees doing what they're doing, or ants or something, bees. Just let the children ask the questions and explore it, and maybe try to explain to you what it looks like to them, what they're looking at, and how involved they can imagine it being, with all the little things and the medium things all joining together in a system of nature. So I think these sorts of things. I've got curiosity, appreciation, openness, humility, and the amazingness of self that they've got to play a part in all of this spiritual connection.
Okay.
So that's a whole lot from me there, but I love this topic, and I think it's great that you're valuing it as a parent, and I think that it will be fine because your heart's in the right place, and they're going to be like you. They're going to just want more of it.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, so we've only gone through 1/3 of the participants. I'm happy to stay another half hour, but I want everybody to respect everybody's time, and if you need to go, go. So succinctly, okay, I want everybody to be in the hot seat. I'm not even counting myself, but be succinct so that we can help you. Yolanda, you ready? Go.
So my success for 2020 is I have been certified as a Dream Builder coach. And my focus for 2021 will be to be certified as a life mastery consultant and have my business.
Okay.
And my clients that I would like to coach are people who are not happy in their job or in their life. They would like to change something in their life. Maybe it's more around 40, 50 or 60 years old. I think maybe at the beginning of the business or of the work life, it's not so clear that people are not so happy, but I think that's my focus.
Okay, how can we support you?
I'm not too sure where I can find them. I mean, I know, but with social medias and so, but maybe other places people have maybe other ideas.
Yeah. Is everybody clear on what Yolanda is saying, is requesting? So
maybe I didn't say what this actually is. It's about this Dream Builder coach. I help people to find or to recognize their dreams in life, to realize them, and to live a life they love living. And by doing that, living more and more their infinite potential.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. I think it's clear. To me, Yolanda, that's is still a little vague, you know. You can be even more precise. It will be easier to attract people, but in what you want your clients exactly to want and dream. Okay, maybe you can focus on a few dreams or one or two specific dreams, and then it's going to be easier to find them. But let's see what everybody has to say. I'll mute you for now. Okay, Beron.
Could you unmute yourself?
Yes, you can try to write out in paper the description, you know, of the ideal client you have in mind, and then how you can help them, and then what sort of benefit they can get after your coaching. That way you'll be more clear, you know, whom you are speaking to, and then maybe you can run a few classes, you know, just to get even the testimonial from people to start with. Yeah.
Great, thanks. Anybody else? Mike.
Thank you, Veronica.
I was thinking it's very important when you consider this, say, 40 to 60-year-old group that are working a job and they're not happy. I know plenty of them, including I've actually got a housemate upstairs that's been in the one job for about 15 years in clerical position, wants to do something else, and is nearly out of the training age. You're only really trainable till, I don't know, 55, 65 to start something new, and it starts getting hard. I think one interesting aspect of it is vices, because you're describing these people who are unhappy, and I get it, they are, and you can unlock that road from them into this frightened self-dream vision. But the trick is, what are their vices? Because their vices are stopping them from getting somewhere. And you're touching on psychology, psychiatry. They might be gambling, drinking, doing something very dodgy that nobody knows about. These are the things that unhappy 50-year-olds do instead of their dream. I just wanted to throw that in because I always see that when I weigh up the 50 nowhere person and I see where they want to be, the one thing holding them up that I see is their vices, and obviously coaching underneath that. But bringing that vice in may impact even your marketing, because you can't be good at all of them, but you might get really good at one of them. And also, it's your budget. It's that what if they spend $1,000 a week on something, and you want to charge them $300 a week to get them happy, get them to have less of their vice, and they don't miss on their budget. That's my input.
Thank you, Michael.
Dr. Habib, your hand is up. Do you have something to say?
Yes. If I understood it correctly, the NHS in England have started some things in the centers where I work. Is called the Wellness Wednesday, whatever day of the week, and they invite external experts to help motivate the staff. One very worrying statistic is they found that about 20%, if not more, of the NHS workforce are wanting to leave their job, but they are waiting until COVID is over, which is a bit of a worrying number, whether they are mentally stressed or whatever. What I'm trying to say for Yolanda is it possible for you to do like a seminar or a webinar or a Zoom meeting in Corporation Institute addressing the things that you think are happening where people are not dissatisfied, or how they can get satisfied, or incorporating on which if it's meant for them to change job, and by that you introduce yourself to a bigger community. They are the paying customer who can pay to go privately with somebody, and in this way you have helped whoever wants to move on, and maybe even keep some people doing their job, but maybe they are stressed to see that it's not the right job for them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gina. I will think of that too. Yeah, it's a great idea. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just say one thing that can help all of you and myself. Most of you are in business or want to start their own business. So when it comes to marketing your own business, you have to go ingredient, measure, and quantify. Because if you tell somebody who hates their life, oh, you can have your dream life, that's too vague and too much of a gap in between. They cannot wrap their brain around it. But if you can say, okay, now you hate your life, but the next step is I can help you get 1 day off a week to do whatever you want. Then it's the next gradient. Then once they get there, you tell them and you market it as such, okay, now you're going to be able to have 2 days off a week to do nothing but what you love, and so on and so forth. But just break it down in a way that they can wrap their brain around it. Otherwise, it's too much of a gap and they cannot comprehend it. That's been my experience. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, and Dr. Divgi, you're in the hot seat.
Need to unmute.
Yes. 2020, I think I landed on the Tower Garden that we had the mastermind in August, I think.
Yeah.
And I am enjoying it very much. And 2021, my passion has taken to know more about Blue Zone and creating one. Blue Zone is where the people are living like 100 plus and in a healthy way. Because the thinking that I have, I'm in 70s, and if I am going to live longer, I'd rather be healthy and not dependent on anybody. So mainly I'm doing it for me, but I'm promoting it in the community and create the community around me.
Great. And how can we support you in 2021? Ideas that you want us to master?
Yeah, I guess idea.
For that
I've already started, like, first I thought, creating the community around where I live. So I've started out with my mayor's office and I've contacted them, did hear back from them and have submitted. So that's my first step.
Here's an idea. So the book
Yes.
Blue Zone said there's only 6 places on earth now that are Blue Zone.
Yes.
Which is debatable. COVID taught us we're all virtual. So no matter
Yeah.
where we are, working remotely or traveling, can we have our own portable blue zone, our microcosmo that we bring with us, blue zone, wherever, whether I come and travel and drive to Atlanta to see you, whether I go, you know, to New York to see Gillian and so on and so forth. Can I bring my blue zone with me and anybody can be blue zone? Maybe just an
Well,
idea.
I think first the concept has to be there, and then we can create it around us. So I just want to get the idea out first, and then they can pitch in how they want to create their own blue zones.
Okay. Is everybody clear on it? Does anybody have yeah, great. Okay. So Matt.
I just Googled Blue Zone. I'm a little fascinated by what I see. It's very interesting.
You bet. That's what I'm saying. Get on to
One of the things that struck me is that I believe that you're a retired doctor, right?
Yes.
The one thing that's great about that is it gives you instant credibility and instant cachet no matter what room you walk into. And there are a lot of health centers out there, a lot of holistic health centers, and they're single shingle people, they're groups of practitioners. They're often run by people with all kinds of alphabet soup after their name. Very few of them have doctors. And I think that if you affiliate with a doctorless group of practitioners who believe in what you believe in, you become the instant authority in the room. And I think that gives you a really good learning lab to be able to do your work. And that's all I've got.
So you mean the clinics and all that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, anytime I look at clinics and stuff and people that are doing ozone therapy and all kinds of interesting alternative stuff, if there's a doctor in the room, I feel better. I feel like, well, there's a doctor in the room, and that means it's ordinary, you know, it's safer. I think you walk in with instant credibility, kind of like a psychiatrist in the mental health world, you know? I think that's something that's very much in your favor. Whatever you decide to focus on, that's what grows in your life. And being a doctor, I think, is kind of like the fertilizer for the crops.
Great.
Thank you. I think that's what I'm counting on from the mayor's office, that they should get on with it, because it needs a lot of policies and things in place to create the whole community. And our neighborhood, I've asked the president of the homeowners association to bring it up in the next meeting. So I'll try to speak up on that.
You. Anybody else has something to offer, Dr. Divki? Unmute. Yeah.
I'll jump. No, sorry, I heard someone.
No, you go ahead, Michael. I'll go after you. Don't worry.
Now, am I correct? The Blue Zone is happy, healthy living for people over 100. They're amazing things you could do, but I really like the idea of collecting stories and helping people re-enthusiastize themselves from the age of 90 to do with their family history and their life's achievement. Things like the collation of photographs, the full support package. And if you catch people in their 70s and 80s, you'll get a whole bunch of manpower seeing it the same as you. They want it to just make things better and safer and support each other on the common tasks of bringing together the sorts of things that you do think about at that age. I'm faced as a gardening business with when people downsize and they don't know what to do with everything that's in the garage and under the house and in the roof. And so much value gets lost and families don't transition. You know, it's great for the grandchildren and everybody to become part of this longevity support. And I think that the overall appreciation of the elderly in our community needs to go right up, much more like what they have in Europe, to properly appreciate the wisdom of those times around the block. So that's just a few thoughts I've got on the importance and relevance and the ways you can get some manpower and energy, because I deal with people in the 70s and 80s that don't know what to do next with themselves, and they need some great projects that will help them and others, which you can wrap up for.
Great idea. Thank you, Mike. And Dr. Habib.
Well, I commend you first on starting on such a big project. I know you said something about going to the mayors and the authority for your help. And my thoughts on this would be, maybe we'll get the community behind you to go to the mayors and the management or the bigger institute. I think, I find the bigger the person is in position, the difficulties for them to take a decision, as they are managed by so many bureaucracies and other decision makers that influence what they do. But steering the community is the biggest way of doing it, and social media, I believe now, is the way to do it. So and other community way of communication, if it's doable and possible wherever you are. Because a lot of people are looking into this now, not just Blue, but for our next phase of life post-COVID, that this is the way to go, as in we try to support ourselves individually without looking for additional stuff. I hope that helps.
That's right, not just blue, every color, gold, any color under the sun.
No, it's the title given to the blue, that's all.
And by the way, blue at work is actually COVID positive, so we need to change the color.
There you go.
No, don't take that COVID in
No,
there.
I'm joking, but it's
Yeah,
true,
yeah.
by the way. And work environment, blue is COVID.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Jody, Gillian, Matt, Verona, and Shez. Who's ready? Okay, Matt, go for it.
All right, so I'll be very succinct. In 2020, a lot of good things happened, but one of the things that happened is we were able to sell a real estate property and get some cash. And in 2021, I'm looking to invest that cash and other cash in some kind of non-real estate investment. I'm finding that in my passive investment that I keep going back to real estate because I know it and I understand it, but then it keeps reinforcing the same dynamic and I don't actually break out into new investments. So I'm wondering from this group, what you're investing in or what you recommend investing in that's not real estate, so I may learn about some opportunities out there that I can benefit from.
Basically what he's saying undercover is he's interested in your businesses. But you better have a good business plan and put all your heart, all your soul, everything you got, because you got an investor here. Okay, who has something to add and share for Matt?
Matt, one of the things I have is to find somebody who will do a rooftop tower garden business.
Mm-hmm.
Like rooftop or a restaurant or a community thing, like a tower farm, what they call.
Yeah.
And that would be something, my dream, because personally, I don't think one person can manage 150 towers, but I have gotten into it so late, much later in life that I may not have that energy. So my thing would be, if I do the homework to get the rooftop guys, rooftop, right now the restaurants are not going, but somewhere to hold a tower garden farm.
I'll do one. I'm really keen. I really am keen. The last 3 months on that tower garden. So talk to both of us. Who knows? Maybe in Melbourne with the American product, with the thing, with the restaurant, with the good one.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
So let me know what you need and I can help Michael to get that going. What you would like to see, and I will provide him all the details and the tower farm things and all that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Whiz bang return on investment proposal coming up.
Yeah, very good. Matt, and you may want to experience that for yourself. And this is for anybody who ever invests in anything, whether it's a new project, your own new business, other people's businesses. Make sure your heart is in it. You're also passionate about it. And you experience the product and the services yourself as well first, okay? Before you put your money in it. This is for everybody. And Mike.
If I could go a little bit, Matt, I'm so excited for you because you are in a beautiful point of freedom with the choice. So all the things you want back from your investment, including money, come into it, like full personal return, enjoyment, everything. But I think rather than ditching real estate, I would do something that requires knowledge and use of real estate, but takes it somewhere else. And it leads me more to the concept of development, which leads me to one of my most exciting futuristic fantasy worlds of new styles of business delivery to people, maybe considering COVID, like drive-throughs or something like that, new developments with design on property to deliver community services that are franchisable or mappable, you know, get the prototype model. So I think to work with, even if you just work with people and design it all up with your property knowledge, and you don't actually have to buy a property or roll it out, but setting up businesses with real estate in built up areas by looking at that piece of land quite differently. And maybe, yeah, you need to buy 2 of them next to each other. But I would, if you brought some partners in and kept it a tight project, don't put too much money down at the start or anything, just look at building something very, very valuable by using land differently as we have an emerging deliverables change. It could be a new kind of cinema. It could be a Zoom facility where people hire rooms and they're all set up with monitors for Zoom, a Zoom hire out hall, you know, some kind of but you have to have the building and the land, and it's using it differently from how people are to do with the emerging needs and styles of people.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you have more ideas, yeah, you guys can also put them in the private Facebook group. Okay, let's take one last share about this. If somebody was talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Matt, you know, in UK, there's also some development which is concentrate on co-living. So it's to help people to have a good lifestyle living while at a low cost. I'm looking into that, but on other investment, there's also other investment in other countries, which is like agriculture, you know, because we need food. We need to sustain the supply of food this day. So agriculture may be some area you might look into too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you. Gillian, you went, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. Shez, you've been very, very silent. He's my interviewer this week. I share the blog. Would you like to go next?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah,
it's my first one, so I've just been really listening and trying to get myself comfortable to being in such esteemed company. So thank you for inviting me. It's really great.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
So yeah, just to be as brief as possible. So 2020 has been a very interesting year. I think to look at it from a positive perspective, I've been able to get involved in community initiatives locally and also globally, helping people through this difficult time. I've managed to push my business forward, albeit slowly. And that's definitely something I want to focus on in 2021, in terms of like, how can I get my coaching business, which focuses on helping people to discover their dream career, to kind of go to that next level. And similar to Safia, who spoke earlier, is someone that I value and do speak to quite regularly. You know, I'm really interested in building good partnerships, trying to systemize my business, which is something that I've learned from you, Dr. Elena. So I think these are the things that I really want to do in 2021, is, you know, really just kind of continue the good work that I've done personally and professionally, and really kind of push on a little bit and move forward with the business and try to automate things and you know, get webinars and things like that in place. So any ideas anyone can give, any suggestions, I'd be very, very grateful.
Sure, thank you. Is everybody clear on what Shez is asking for support?
It would help me if Shez could simplify it down to a more succinct, singular, passionate ask.
So my ask is, how can I scale my coaching business in 2021?
Sure, Mike, go.
All righty, so I'm sort of generally lifting that up to the same situation as my DIY stuff and Safia's parent stuff, and ultimately Yolanda's stuff and Elena's expansion on the whole thing. How do we reach more people and cope with the volume? Because you don't want to be doing more work. It's really about leverage. I guess the one-on-one stuff, if you do them, I think I think for any coach, you need to still have at least one or two. It's like me as a gardener, I need 1 or 2 real jobs a week, or I'm not a gardener anymore. So you need a couple of one-on-ones. And the group format's got limitations, and it can lead you into one-on-one. So I'd have a couple of one-on-ones that you do basic, normal, and I have a couple of one-on-ones that you're chasing top dollar for. Once you're booked out, you still got time for it because someone's paying you $2,000 for an hour or whatever. But you can only get so much out of your time. And there's all the normal stuff like write a book, and I mean the first book you might give out free to bring people into stuff or something. Who knows how you do it? But write a book somewhere in the first 3 that brings in money on its own and may continue to do so for 15 years. Write some timeless stuff that is essential of what you've got. But the scaling of it up has really got to do with Zoom and how you can manage it. But I think like everyone else, if you can get people around you that you're happy to coach your content to a certain level, if you work a formula or a model that you give to different people, there you go. There's a whole lot of ideas from me, but that's scaling it up. Just don't get yourself too busy.
Thank you. Great shares there.
And I heard that, thank you, Mike. I heard that, was that you, Dr. Habib? I heard the female voice.
Yes, I think it had to be, I mean, my thoughts on it would be more tailored to your community. I don't know if you're in the UK or which part of the world you are coming from. So your customer would be more the local community, and what is the best way to address and get to your local community and maybe offer some free webinar or seminars or Zoom meeting, whatever way is possible now in the current circumstances, and offer them the positivity that you're coming across with today, and how there is going to be another light somewhere else, and this is, there is always going to be a way to restart again. And from there on, I think you can gauge your customer and bring them home and make them into something into your business. It's very hard to generalize it, because now way of communication after COVID is very territorial specific. So I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Great, Matt.
As I was going to say one thing, I'm going to take a chance and assume that you're a young man. I know you're younger than I am. And I think the one thing I've noticed about young adults, which I'm really impressed by, this generation seems to really pride themselves on connection and communication and collaboration. And I think that the first thing that came up to me is, if you want to scale your business, don't do it alone. Find 2 or 3 collaboration partners that you are really in sync with, and that the 3 of you, 2-3 of you, can really envision building something truly synergistic, greater than the sum of your parts, and go to market together. Because that's really how I've seen generations that are below mine just really navigate life, and it's very impressive.
Oh, so nice.
Thank you so much.
Suggestion. Thank you, Matt. Very good. Thank you so much. Okay, so Veron or Jody, is one of you ready to go at the speed of light? Jody, unmute.
Okay. What I'm proud of for 2020, I've got a couple of things, but one I'm really proud of is my personal growth. If you would have known me at the beginning of the year, I was quiet, wasn't so outgoing, and something throughout the middle of the year it clicked. And I've noticed I've grown. And for 2021, I wanted to continue to grow. And I've got to get focused on what I want for 2021. There's a few things. It's funny, I came across some papers yesterday of a book that I wrote, a little story that I wrote of my daughter's first grade. Mind you, she's 36 years old now. And I'm thinking that'd be a cool thing to turn into a book. And I also want to start writing a book on surviving and getting other people's points of view on how they survive different things. So I want to start to do my book. I'm always saying I need to want to do it. So I just need ideas on how I can get started.
Okay.
And how to stay focused.
Sure. You cut out a little bit, Jody. Which one book out of the 2 are you going to start with?
I have the kids' book written. Just need to know what the next steps are for that. And the other than surviving, just need to get started on it and try to figure out where I start.
All right. Well, maybe you can partner up with Safia and parenting with the kids book. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody has any idea, any comment, feedback for Jody? Yes, that's right. Yes, and even Dr. Divgi can be a great partnership. Let's hear.
Jody, I have written a book, and what I had to do was mainly look at what was coming to notice, just that parenting is there, and that was bothering me, that parents are giving the things like cell phones, tabloids and all that, and they're not spending one-on-one time with the kids. So I have written something like, what values would you like? What qualities would you like to develop? On the book that is already there, if you Google self-publishing, there are some avenues that come up. There's something called 48 hours. Then Amazon also gives you Kindle and the self thing. You have to be careful about Amazon. They do take a lot of commission, but you can always publish what is needed. You know, you don't have to going to the publisher and getting X number of copies published is kind of going out of style, because people are getting into ebook and other formats. So you want to look at those things.
Thank you. And the titles of Dr. Divgi's amazing book is called Letters to Grandmothers. Great book.
Notes to Grandchildren.
Yeah,
Notes to Grandchildren.
Totally. My memory. Okay. All right.
No problem.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So I have to wrap it up in a minute, but I wanted to say you can continue interacting in the private Facebook group. I put the link here. Please do. Please do. It's just private, and I make sure you're a member, and you all are. So use it to support one another, continue getting ideas and mastermind. We'll do the next mastermind. Maybe Dr. Abib, you may want to be the co-host. Contact if it's going to be the first Wednesday of the month, January. So contact me offline and we can go from there. Okay. Veron, did you have any ask that maybe we can do it in the private Facebook group?
Yeah, okay. I just want to find investors in the 2021. So it has to be.
Okay.
Matt is sitting there.
Exactly. So you remember, you have to be specific on what you are offering. So I'm going to challenge you. You are already in our private Facebook group. Okay. So to really put at least one or two investments that you're offering. Okay, and the terms the best you can, and then they can contact you privately. Okay, can you do that in our private Facebook group?
Yes, because the details are quite a lot, you know. So
yeah, we'll put a little executive summary to spark their interest, and then they can contact you privately from there. But please do it today. Okay, do it right now as soon as we get off. So everybody have a grand finale for 2021. You all are amazing. You have so much to offer to this world. Keep it up, rest up a bit, celebrate your wins. And I'm looking forward to spending a powerful 2021 with all of you and all your loved ones. Much love. Thank you all for giving your best, giving your love, sharing all you've got.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That is success.
See you next year.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Good to meet you guys today. And
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
till next time.
See you soon.
It's good to see you.
And you too,
Have a
honey.
great day.
Talk soon, okay? Ciao. Verona,
Talk soon.
catch you in the
Bye-bye.
private Facebook group. Ciao, belly.